Welcome back to Infidelity Tales Lab. We're incredibly grateful for your support. Before we begin today's tale, tell us, which city or country are you joining us from? We love connecting with our global audience. Now, let's dive into today's story. Chapter 1. Living the Dream. Nathan Morrison stood at his office window in Red Point Technologies, observing the Philadelphia skyline. His reflection showed a man of 32, with sharp features and calculated green eyes that missed nothing. The corner office served as a testament to his ruthless dedication. Every promotion earned through strategic moves and unwavering focus. Mr. Morrison, David Reynolds would like to see you, his assistant Sarah announced through the intercom. Send him in. Nathan's voice carried the authority of someone used to commanding respect. David Reynolds, his longtime mentor, entered with purposeful strides. At 60, he embodied corporate success with his tailored suit and confident demeanor. Nathan, that security vulnerability you discovered could have bankrupted us. The board is impressed. Nathan's lips curved into a controlled smile. It was necessary. Red Point success is my success. That's why I chose you. When you first walked in here, I saw that hunger in your eyes. The same hunger I had when I started. David settled into the chair across from Nathan's desk. How are you holding up? It's been 14 years since. Nathan's jaw tightened. The memory of his parents' accident still burned fresh. I'm fine. Their death taught me to rely on myself. And Victoria? How's married life treating you? The mention of his wife softened Nathan's expression slightly. She's everything I could ask for. Supporting my career, understanding the long hours. We're expecting twins. David's eyebrows rose. Twins? Nathan, that's wonderful news. When did you find out? Last week. Victoria's already planning the nursery. Nathan pulled out his phone, showing David the ultrasound image. She wants to continue working at the real estate agency until the last trimester. Smart woman. Hayes Properties is making waves in the market. Though I hear Catherine, her sister, can be difficult to work with. Nathan's eyes narrowed. Catherine's ambitious. Sometimes too ambitious. But Victoria keeps her in check. A knock interrupted them. Grace Martinez, one of their top project managers, entered with a stack of reports. Her dark hair was pulled back in a precise bun, her expression professional. Sorry to interrupt, but the Singapore team needs an immediate decision on the firewall protocols. Come in, Grace. David and I were just finishing up. Nathan's tone shifted to business mode. He'd hired Grace himself, recognizing in her the same driven determination he possessed. As Grace laid out the technical specifications, Nathan's phone buzzed with a text from Victoria. At the gym with my new trainer. He's got amazing ideas for staying fit during pregnancy. Dinner at 7? Nathan typed a quick response. Meeting might run late. Don't wait up. He returned his attention to Grace's presentation, unaware that this moment marked the beginning of his perfect life's unraveling. Later that evening, Nathan arrived home to find Victoria in their kitchen, still in her workout clothes. Her blonde hair was damp from the shower, her cheeks flushed with exercise-induced vigor. You missed a great session, she said, stretching her toned arms above her head. Jackson, my trainer, he's worked with pregnant athletes before. He thinks I can maintain most of my routine through the first 2 trimesters. Nathan poured himself a glass of water, studying his wife. Jackson? The one with the fitness Instagram account? Victoria laughed, the sound melodious and practiced. You've been checking up on him? Don't worry, honey. He's completely professional. Actually, you should meet him. He's got some great investment ideas for a new gym franchise. I'll pass. I trust your judgment. Nathan wrapped an arm around her waist, pulling her close. How are you feeling? Any morning sickness? None yet. I'm one of the lucky ones. Victoria's hand rested on her still flat stomach. Jackson says that staying active can help with pregnancy symptoms. Nathan's phone rang. Robert Wilson, his best friend from college and now a detective with the local police. Sorry, I need to take this. Stepping into his home office, Nathan answered. Rob, what's up? Nathan, you free for a drink? Got something you should know about that new development project Victoria's agency is handling. Give me 30 minutes. Usual place? At O'Malley's bar, Robert waited in their regular booth. His police badge glinted under his jacket as he leaned forward. The Hayes sisters are playing with fire, Nate. That new luxury complex they're developing? The land was rezoned under suspicious circumstances. Nathan took a slow sip of his whiskey. Explain, Catherine's been seen having private meetings with zoning officials. Right after, Hayes Properties mysteriously gets exclusive rights to prime real estate. Robert pushed a manila envelope across the table. These are just preliminary findings, but if you want me to dig deeper... No. Nathan's voice was firm. Victoria's not Catherine. She wouldn't risk our future on illegal dealings. He pocketed the envelope anyway, a habit born from years of careful information gathering. The next morning, Nathan arrived at Red Point early, reviewing the security protocols he'd implemented. His office phone buzzed. "Your wife is here to see you," Sarah announced. Victoria swept in, radiant in a designer dress that highlighted her subtle curves. "Surprise! I brought breakfast." She set down a paper bag from their favorite bakery. Nathan's expression remained neutral. "This is unexpected. Can a wife surprise her hardworking husband?" Victoria perched on the edge of his desk. "Besides, I wanted to tell you in person. I'm organizing a surprise party for your promotion to operations director." "Victoria," Nathan's tone held a warning. "Don't worry. Just close friends and a few key colleagues. David's helping me with the guest list." She leaned in to kiss his cheek. "You deserve to celebrate your success, Nathan. You've worked so hard for this." As Victoria left, Grace entered with the Singapore team's updates. She noticed the bakery bag. "Mrs. Morrison seems in high spirits. She's planning a party I don't want." Nathan signed the reports with quick, decisive strokes. Grace's lips twitched. "If you'd prefer, I could schedule an emergency meeting that evening." "No, let her have this. Victoria needs to feel involved in my success." Nathan's phone buzzed with another text from his wife, meeting Jackson for another session. "He's got great news about the gym investment." Nathan stared at the message, his expression hardening. He opened his desk drawer, pulling out Robert's envelope. Perhaps it was time to take a closer look at Hayes Properties' business dealings after all. The weeks passed, and Victoria's surprise party approached. Nathan maintained his routine. Early mornings at Red Point, late nights reviewing reports, and careful observation of his wife's increasing enthusiasm for her fitness regime. One evening, he overheard Victoria on the phone with Catherine. "No, he doesn't suspect anything. Yes, Jackson's handled everything perfectly. The party will be amazing. Just wait and see." Nathan's hands curled into fists, but his face remained impassive. He'd learned long ago that reaction without preparation was a fool's move. Instead, he made a mental note to have Robert run a deeper background check on Jackson Reed, the trainer who seemed to occupy so much of his wife's time. The night of the party arrived, and Nathan played his part perfectly. He feigned surprise when he entered their decorated home, accepted congratulations with practiced grace, and watched Victoria work the room with her natural charm. David pulled him aside during the celebrations. "You got a good woman there, Nathan. Not many would put this much effort into celebrating their husband's success." Nathan's eyes followed Victoria as she laughed with Jackson, who'd been invited as her personal trainer. "Yes, she's very invested in my career." Later that night, after the guests had left and Victoria had gone to bed, Nathan sat in his home office, reviewing the files Robert had compiled. His friend's warning about Hayes Properties echoed in his mind as he examined property records, bank statements, and zoning documents. The perfect life he'd built was beginning to show its first hairline cracks, though none could see them yet. Nathan Morrison had learned early that trust was a luxury he couldn't afford, and as he studied the documents before him, his expression shifted to one of cold calculation. He would watch, wait, and gather evidence. And when the time came, if it came, his response would be neither swift nor merciful. It would be absolute. Chapter 2. The First Cracks. The medical office felt sterile and impersonal as Nathan sat across from Dr. Phillips, absorbing the news that would reshape his carefully constructed world. Stage 2 pancreatic cancer. The words hung in the air like a death sentence, but Nathan's expression remained composed. "We need to start treatment immediately," Dr. Phillips explained, shuffling through test results. "The survival rates—" "Give me the numbers," Nathan interrupted, his voice steady. "All of them." As the doctor detailed statistics and treatment options, Nathan's mind was already calculating, strategizing. He'd faced death before, at 18, when he'd identified his parents' bodies after their accident. This was just another battle to win. Later that evening, Nathan sat in Robert Wilson's living room, nursing a glass of bourbon. His friend's police detective badge lay on the coffee table between them, a symbol of the truth-seeking that had defined their friendship since college. "You need to tell Victoria," Robert insisted, his weathered face creased with concern. Nathan swirled the amber liquid in his glass. "Tomorrow. But first, I need you to do something for me." "Name it." "Pull everything you can find on Jackson Reed, Victoria's trainer." Nathan's green eyes hardened. Every detail, every connection, every skeleton in his closet. Robert leaned forward. "You suspect something? Let's call it due diligence." Nathan set down his glass. "Victoria's been spending 3 hours a day at that gym. She says it's stress relief. And you don't buy it?" "What I buy is facts, Rob. Get them for me." The next morning, Nathan broke the news to Victoria over breakfast. Her reaction was perfect, perhaps too perfect. Tears welled up in her blue eyes. Her hand flew to her mouth. Her body trembled appropriately. "Oh, Nathan," she whispered, embracing him. "We'll fight this together. I'll be with you every step of the way." Nathan returned her embrace, noting how her heart wasn't racing despite her apparent distress. "I know you will, sweetheart. I know." Victoria insisted on accompanying him to his first chemotherapy session, but by the second week, she developed a convenient pattern of scheduling conflicts. "Jackson says maintaining my routine is important," she explained. "It helps me cope with the stress." Nathan watched her leave for the gym, her designer workout bag slung over her shoulder. His phone buzzed with a text from Grace Martinez. "Board meeting covered. Focus on your treatment. Don't worry about Singapore project." Grace had proven invaluable since his diagnosis, stepping up without being asked. She understood efficiency, understood discretion. Unlike Victoria, she never needed to announce her support. She simply provided it. During his third chemo session, Nathan received an unexpected visitor. Michael Morrison, his estranged uncle, stood awkwardly in the treatment room doorway. "Heard about your condition," Michael said gruffly. "Thought it was time to bury old grievances." Nathan studied the man who'd fought with his father over the family farm years ago. "Why now?" "Because families should stick together." Michael pulled up a chair. "And because I've got 20 years of financial advisory experience that might come in handy." As the chemicals dripped into Nathan's veins, uncle and nephew began a careful reconciliation. Michael shared stories about Nathan's father that painted a different picture than the one Nathan had grown up with. The family farm dispute had been more complex than a simple inheritance squabble. "Your father was protecting you," Michael explained. "There were debts, threats. He took the blame to keep you safe." Nathan absorbed this information with his usual calculated precision. "And now you're here to protect me too?" Michael's response was interrupted by Victoria's unexpected arrival. She froze momentarily at the sight of Michael before composing herself. "I didn't know we had company," she said, her voice honey-sweet. "I'm Victoria, Nathan's wife." Michael's handshake was brief. "Michael Morrison, Nathan's uncle." Victoria's phone chimed with a text. She glanced at it, then back at Nathan. "Honey, I hate to rush off, but Catherine needs me for an urgent client meeting. Will you be okay?" "Go," Nathan said simply, noting how she barely kissed his cheek before hurrying out. Michael watched her leave. "She seems busy. She's handling things her own way." Nathan's tone discouraged further discussion. That evening, Nathan received a preliminary report from Robert about Jackson Reed. The trainer's background showed a pattern: wealthy clients, marital problems, convenient shoulder to cry on. But there was something else, something that made Nathan's jaw clench. "He's still legally married," Robert explained over the phone. "Never finalized his divorce from wife number 1. And get this, she's trying to locate him for back alimony." Nathan processed this information in silence. "There's more," Robert continued. "He's been named in 2 professional misconduct complaints. Both wealthy female clients. Both cases settled quietly." "Keep digging," Nathan ordered. "I want everything." The next few weeks fell into a pattern. Nathan attended his treatments, maintained his presence at Red Point, and watched. He observed Victoria's increasing absences, her perpetual gym sessions, her hushed phone conversations with Catherine. Grace became a constant presence, handling Red Point operations with quiet efficiency. She never mentioned the dark circles under his eyes or his occasional weakness after treatments. Instead, she adapted, scheduling video conferences when he couldn't make it to the office, ensuring nothing fell through the cracks. One evening, as Nathan worked late at Red Point, Grace brought him dinner without comment. She had her own battles, a mother with advancing Alzheimer's, a teenage son navigating adolescence alone. My ex-husband was a master of deception, Grace mentioned casually as they reviewed quarterly reports. I learned to spot the signs. Nathan looked up sharply. What signs? Patterns. Changes. The way someone can say all the right things while doing all the wrong ones. Grace met his gaze steadily. Just an observation. Before Nathan could respond, his phone lit up with a text from Victoria. Don't wait up. Strategy meeting with Catherine about new property development. Love you. Nathan's expression didn't change, but his grip on his pen tightened until his knuckles whitened. Grace noticed, but said nothing, returning to her reports with professional focus. Later that night, Nathan sat in his home office, reviewing his growing file of observations, records, and Robert's reports. A pattern was emerging, one that confirmed his deepest suspicions. Victoria's perfectly timed absences, her increasing involvement with Jackson, the mysterious property developments with Catherine. Pieces of a puzzle he was only beginning to solve. His cancer might have been eating away at his body, but Nathan's mind remained sharp as ever. He'd built his life from nothing once before, after his parents' death. He'd survived then through sheer force of will and careful planning. Now, as he studied the evidence before him, Nathan Morrison began formulating a different kind of survival strategy. If his suspicions proved correct, his response would need to be flawless, devastating, and absolute. Because Nathan Morrison hadn't fought his way up from tragedy, hadn't built his success through sheer determination, to watch it all crumble because of betrayal. If Victoria and her conspirators thought his illness made him weak, they were about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating Nathan Morrison. Chapter 3. The Truth Reveals Itself. The afternoon sun streaked through the windows of Nathan's home office as he reviewed the latest batch of documents from Robert. His chemotherapy session had ended early, an unexpected chance to return home and process the mounting evidence of his wife's deception. The house stood quiet, almost too quiet, until voices drifted in from the back patio. Nathan moved silently through the house, his footsteps masked by years of tactical thinking. Victoria's voice, usually so carefully modulated, carried a sharp edge he'd never heard before. That idiot still thinks I'm faithful, she was saying, words slicing through the air like knives. His company will be mine once his cancer takes him. The kids are my personal trainers, but the inheritance laws don't care. Nathan stood motionless, his face a mask of contained fury as he listened to his wife continue her conversation with Amanda Taylor, her supposed best friend. Each word crystallized the suspicions he'd been gathering like precious stones. Jackson's already lined up buyers for Red Point's proprietary software, Victoria continued, wine glass clinking against the patio table. Once Nathan's gone, the company's vulnerabilities will be exposed. Catherine's real estate connections will help us move the assets quickly. Amanda's voice held a note of concern. Aren't you worried about getting caught? Nathan's not stupid, Victoria. Victoria's laugh rang out, sharp and confident. Nathan's too trusting. Always has been. He actually believes I go to the gym for 3 hours every day. As if I'd waste that much time exercising when Jackson and I could be planning our future. And the twins? Amy and Adam are insurance policies. Nathan adores them. He'd never believe they're not his. Jackson and I were careful about timing everything. Besides, by the time anyone figures it out, Nathan will be gone and I'll be wealthy enough not to care. Nathan's fingers pressed against the wall, his knuckles white with controlled rage. 5 years of marriage. 2 children he'd thought were his own. Countless nights working late to provide the life Victoria claimed to appreciate. All built on carefully constructed lies. He moved silently back to his home office, his mind already formulating plans. His laptop held the key to Victoria's secret email account. She'd used his work computer once, months ago, leaving a digital trail she thought was hidden. The deleted folders revealed years of correspondence between Victoria and Jackson, detailing their affair and their plans for Nathan's company. More damning were the emails between Victoria and Catherine, outlining their scheme to siphon money into offshore accounts. "My dear sister," one email from Catherine read, "Nathan's promotion to operations director gives us perfect timing. Once he's gone, his access codes will let us transfer everything. The cancer diagnosis is a gift. No one questions a grieving widow taking control of her husband's assets." Nathan's jaw clenched as he read message after message. The twins' paternity deception, the planned corporate espionage, the calculated exploitation of his illness. Each revelation fueled his determination for retribution. His phone buzzed with a text from Robert. "Found something big on Jackson. Call me?" Nathan stepped into his private bathroom, running water to mask his voice. "What do you have?" "Your wife's boyfriend has a pattern. 3 other married women, all wealthy, all with convenient tragedies happening to their husbands. 2 died in apparent accidents. 1 survived, but lost everything. Jackson disappeared each time, only to resurface with a new identity at a new gym. Send me everything," Nathan ordered, his voice deadly calm. "There's more," Robert continued. "Victoria's been meeting with someone from Red Point's competitor. Industrial espionage, Nathan. They're planning to steal your security protocols." Nathan ended the call as he heard Victoria entering the house. Her footsteps moved toward their bedroom, followed by the sound of the shower running. He returned to his office, mind racing through scenarios and strategies. The Nathan Morrison that Victoria knew, the trusting, hardworking husband, was a mask he'd worn for 5 years. Now, as the truth revealed itself in all its ugly glory, that mask could finally drop. His computer pinged with an email from Grace. "Unauthorized attempt to access security protocols detected. Source traced to Hayes Properties' IP address. Need your directive." Nathan's response was brief. "Monitor. Document. Report directly to me." Victoria's voice floated from upstairs, saccharine sweet. "Honey, when did you get home? I thought you had chemo today." "Just arrived," he called back, his voice betraying nothing of what he discovered. "How was your day?" "Productive," she answered. "Jackson thinks I'm ready to invest in his new gym franchise. He wants to meet with you about it." Nathan's lips curved into a cold smile. "Set it up. I'd love to hear his business proposal." As Victoria hummed happily in the shower, Nathan began meticulously documenting everything he'd learned. Each piece of evidence, every betrayal, every calculated move against him, all would serve his purpose. The twins' laughter echoed from the playroom where Maria, their nanny, watched over them. Nathan's heart tightened at the sound. Biology aside, they were innocent in their mother's schemes. He would ensure they were protected, even as he dismantled everything Victoria had plotted. His phone buzzed again. Uncle Michael this time. "Nephew, those financial transfers you asked me to track? Found something interesting in the Cayman Islands. Tell me." Victoria's been busy. Monthly transfers, growing amounts, all tucked away where she thinks no one can find them. Nathan's expression hardened. "Keep monitoring. Don't alert anyone." As darkness fell over their suburban Philadelphia home, Nathan Morrison sat in his office, plotting his response to the revelations of the day. Victoria had mistaken his dedication for weakness, his trust for blindness. She would learn, as others had before her, that crossing Nathan Morrison was a fatal mistake. The cancer might be attacking his body, but his mind remained razor-sharp. And now, armed with the truth about his wife's betrayal, Nathan Morrison prepared for war. Not the swift, emotional response she might expect from a betrayed husband, but the calculated destruction that had made him a force to be reckoned with in the corporate world. The perfect life had been an illusion, but Nathan Morrison was a master of turning illusions into weapons. Victoria, Jackson, and their conspirators would soon learn the true cost of underestimating him. Chapter 4. Planning in Pain. Nathan Morrison sat in his home office. The evidence of Victoria's betrayal spread across his desk. His fingers moved across his phone screen, dialing Robert's number with practiced precision. "I need you here. Now." Nathan's voice carried the cold authority that had made him feared in corporate boardrooms. 20 minutes later, Robert Wilson's police cruiser pulled into the driveway. The detective entered through the side door, his face grim as he took in his friend's expression. "You found something?" It wasn't a question. Nathan pushed Victoria's deleted emails across the desk. "Read." Robert's eyes narrowed as he scanned the messages. "Jesus Christ, Nate. The twins are Jacksons." Nathan's voice could have frozen hell itself. 5 years of lies. But that's not all. He revealed the evidence of Victoria's financial scheming with Catherine. Robert pulled out his notebook. "Give me names, dates, everything you've got. My contacts in financial crimes will want this." As they worked, Nathan's phone buzzed. Grace Martinez calling. He put her on speaker. "Nathan, we have a situation at Red Point. Someone tried to access the core security protocols using your credentials. The IP address traces back to Hayes Properties." "Victoria," Nathan said, his jaw tight. "Record everything, Grace. Document each attempt." "Already done. There's more. I found discrepancies in the project budgets Victoria had access to. Funds being redirected through shell companies." Robert looked up sharply. "Those shell companies, any connection to overseas accounts?" "Sending you the details now," Grace replied. "And Nathan? I know a good lawyer. My brother, Thomas Martinez. He specializes in cases like this." Nathan's phone buzzed again. Uncle Michael requesting a video call. He connected, and Michael's weathered face appeared on screen. "Nephew, you better sit down for this. I've been tracking Victoria's financial movements like you asked. She's been busy. Life insurance policies, investment liquidations, offshore transfers. She's preparing for your death, and she's not planning to wait long." Robert's hand instinctively moved to his service weapon. "We need to move fast, Nate. This isn't just a fair anymore. This is conspiracy to commit murder." "No," Nathan's voice cut through the tension. "We move smart, not fast. Victoria thinks I'm weakened by cancer and blind with trust. That's our advantage." Grace's voice came through the speaker. "I'm sending Thomas to you now. He'll want to see everything." 2 hours later, Thomas Martinez arrived. The lawyer's reputation for ruthlessness matched Nathan's own. He absorbed the evidence without comment, his expressions changing only when he reached the documents about the twins. "They planned this from the beginning," Thomas observed, studying the dates. "Victoria's relationship with Jackson predates your marriage. The timing of the twins' conception was deliberate, establishing parental rights for you while knowing they weren't yours." Nathan's hands gripped his desk. "Options? We build an ironclad case. Document everything. Let them think they're winning while we gather evidence." Thomas pulled out his tablet. "Grace mentioned corporate espionage. Victoria and Catherine are using Hayes Properties as a front," Nathan confirmed. "They're after Red Point's security protocols, which makes this federal territory," Robert added. "I've got friends in the FBI's white-collar division who'd be very interested." Uncle Michael's voice cut in from the video call. "Nathan, Victoria just moved another 100,000 to a Cayman account. She's accelerating her timeline. Let her," Nathan said, his green eyes cold as Arctic ice. "Each transfer is another nail in her coffin." Thomas began outlining strategies, his voice clinical and precise. "We'll need surveillance on Victoria and Jackson. Documentation of their meetings, recordings if possible." "Already on it," Robert confirmed. "I know a PI, Donna Kincaid. Ex-FBI, specializes in infidelity cases involving corporate espionage." Nathan pulled up Victoria's gym schedule on his phone. "She's with Jackson right now. 3-hour training session." His laugh held no humor. "Planning my demise between sets, no doubt. We'll need your medical records," Thomas continued. "Victoria will try to use your cancer to claim you're mentally unfit." "My oncologist has everything documented," Nathan replied. "Each treatment, each response, each decision I've made. Clear-headed and competent throughout." Grace's voice came through again. "Nathan, Victoria just called the office. She's asking questions about your succession plans, claiming concern about your health affecting company stability." "Perfect." Nathan's smile was predatory. "Let her think she's being subtle. Grace, feed her carefully selected information. Let's see what she does with it." The meeting continued into the night, each participant contributing to the web Nathan was weaving. Robert coordinated with Donna Kincaid, setting up surveillance. Thomas drafted legal documents, preparing for multiple scenarios. Grace monitored Victoria's attempts to infiltrate Redpoint's systems, documenting each probe. Uncle Michael's financial expertise revealed the full scope of Victoria's preparations. She's been planning this for years, Nathan. The accounts, the properties, the investments, all structured to activate upon your death. Then we'll give her what she expects, Nathan decided. A dying man, too trusting to see his wife's betrayal, too weak to fight back. But Nathan Morrison was far from weak. As his conspirators left that night, each with their assigned tasks, he sat in his office reviewing their strategy. Victoria had mistaken his loyalty for blindness, his focus for ignorance. She would learn, as others had before her, that Nathan Morrison didn't just fight battles. He annihilated his opponents. The cancer might be real, but it had given him something valuable, the element of surprise. Victoria expected a desperate, dying man. Instead, she would face the ruthless strategist who had built himself up from nothing, who had turned tragedy into triumph before. His phone lit up with a text from Victoria, late session with Jackson. Don't wait up. Taking my vitamins and keeping strong for you. Red Heart. Nathan's response was brief, maintaining his role as the unsuspecting husband. Take care, sweetheart. Love you. The game was set. Now it was time to show Victoria, Jackson, and their co-conspirators why crossing Nathan Morrison would be the last mistake they'd make. Chapter 5. Pieces in Motion. Donna Kincaid's surveillance photos spread across Nathan's desk, each image a testament to Victoria's betrayal. The private investigator stood by the window, her ex-FBI training evident in her stance. They're getting careless, Donna observed, pointing to images of Victoria and Jackson leaving a hotel. Your wife's not as subtle as she thinks. Show me the communications, Nathan demanded. Donna handed over transcripts of intercepted messages. They're using a secure messaging app, but nothing's truly secure. Jackson's been reaching out to potential buyers for Redpoint's security protocols. Nathan's phone buzzed, Dr. Rachel Bennett requesting a video consultation. He connected, and the renowned oncologist's face appeared on screen. Mr. Morrison, I've reviewed your case files, Dr. Bennett began, her expertise evident in her precise analysis. The current treatment protocol isn't optimal. I've been researching a new approach that's showing promising results. Success rate? Nathan's question was direct. 60% higher than your current treatment. I can have you transferred to my care by next week. Nathan's mind calculated rapidly. Better treatment meant more time, more strength to execute his plans. Make it happen. A knock at his office door. Grace Martinez entered with her brother Thomas. The lawyer carried a thick folder of documents. Victoria's been busy, Thomas announced, spreading papers across the desk. She's filed preliminary divorce papers, dated them for next month. Claiming your illness makes you mentally unstable. Grace's expression hardened. She's also been meeting with Redpoint's competitors. I planted false security protocols like you asked. She took the bait? Good. Nathan reviewed the documents. Let her think she's winning. Any word from Robert about Jackson's background? Better than that, Grace replied, pulling up emails on her tablet. Jackson's still legally married. His first wife, Jennifer, is willing to testify about his pattern of targeting wealthy women. Donna moved from the window. I found 3 other victims. Same method. Jackson seduces them at the gym, gains access to their finances, then disappears when their husbands die under mysterious circumstances. Nathan's phone lit up. Maria Rodriguez, the twins' nanny, requesting to speak with him. He put her on speaker. Mr. Morrison. Maria's voice was hesitant but determined. I've been keeping records of Mrs. Morrison's behavior with the children. The time she's absent, the inappropriate things she says when she thinks no one's listening. Send everything to Thomas, Nathan instructed. Your observations could be crucial. Thomas nodded approvingly. A nanny's testimony carries weight in custody cases. Even if you don't want custody, it proves Victoria's character. The pieces were falling into place, each member of Nathan's team executing their role with precision. Grace monitored Redpoint's systems, documenting Victoria's clumsy attempts at corporate espionage. Donna tracked Victoria and Jackson's movements, building a detailed record of their conspiracy. Robert's voice came through on speakerphone. Nathan, we found something big. Jackson's been manipulating his clients' investment portfolios. He's got unauthorized access to their financial information through the gym's payment system. Forward everything to the SEC, Nathan commanded. Let's add federal charges to their problems. Dr. Bennett's face reappeared on the video call. Mr. Morrison, I can start your new treatment protocol tomorrow. The sooner we begin, the better your chances. Nathan checked his calendar. Schedule it. And Dr. Bennett? I need detailed documentation of my mental competency throughout treatment. Already prepared, she confirmed. Your cognitive functions are completely unimpaired by either the illness or the treatment. As the meeting continued, Nathan's team coordinated their attacks. Thomas prepared legal documents, targeting not just Victoria, but the entire conspiracy. Gray set up more sophisticated traps and red point systems, ready to catch Victoria's crude attempts at theft. Uncle Michael called in with updates on the financial front. Nathan, Victoria's getting sloppy. She tried to access your personal accounts this morning. Left a clear trail straight to Catherine's office. Let them hang themselves, Nathan replied, his voice cold with satisfaction. Each mistake brings them closer to destruction. The day progressed with military precision. Donna's surveillance caught Victoria meeting with Catherine at a private club, discussing property deals that reeked of insider trading. Grace documented 3 more attempts to breach Red Point security, each one more desperate than the last. Nathan maintained his facade of ignorance, playing the role of devoted husband even as he orchestrated Victoria's downfall. When she called to cancel their dinner plans, claiming a late showing with clients, he responded with understanding and concern. Don't work too hard, sweetheart, he said, knowing she was actually meeting Jackson at their regular hotel. Take care of yourself. After Victoria's call, Nathan reviewed the latest surveillance photos. His wife and her lover, plotting his demise between workout sessions, oblivious to the noose tightening around them. Mr. Morrison, Maria appeared at his office door. The twins are asking for you. Mrs. Morrison promised to read them a bedtime story, but she's not here, Nathan finished. He stood his decision about the twins' future crystallizing. They might not be his biologically, but he would ensure they were protected from their mother's schemes. His phone buzzed with updates from his team. Donna, surveillance confirms Victoria meeting with corporate competitors. Robert, FBI interested in Jackson's financial fraud pattern. Grace, trapped another attempt to access Red Point systems. Thomas, legal documents ready for your review. Nathan Morrison studied each report, his expression revealing nothing of the satisfaction he felt. Victoria thought she was orchestrating his fall. Instead, she was witnessing the results of crossing a man who had built himself from tragedy before. The cancer might be attacking his body, but Nathan's mind remained his deadliest weapon, and he intended to use it to its full capacity. Chapter 6: The Storm Gathers. The gym's security cameras provided a perfect view of Victoria and Jackson's latest meeting. Nathan watched the feed from his home office, Donna Kincaid providing real-time commentary through his earpiece. They're discussing property division, Donna reported. Your wife seems quite confident about your imminent demise. Nathan's attention shifted to his laptop, where Grace had shared Victoria's latest attempts to access Red Point systems. She's getting desperate, he observed. 3 attempts in the past hour. Robert's voice joined the conversation through the speakerphone. Just got the DNA test results, Nathan. They're conclusive. The twins aren't yours. Though Nathan had known this truth for weeks, the official confirmation hit hard. Not because of biology, but because of the calculated deception it represented. His fingers moved across his keyboard, transferring funds into a secure trust for Amy and Adam's future. Thomas Martinez entered the office, carrying fresh legal documents. The trust is ironclad, he confirmed. Victoria can't touch it, even if something happens to you. Good? Nathan's voice was steel. The twins shouldn't suffer for their mother's crimes. His phone buzzed, Amanda Taylor requesting an urgent meeting. The guilt-ridden friend who had revealed Victoria's true nature now served as another weapon in Nathan's arsenal. Send her to the office, Nathan instructed Donna. Record everything. Amanda arrived 30 minutes later, her nervousness evident in her fidgeting hands. I can't do this anymore, she burst out. Victoria and Catherine, They're involved in something bigger than just the affair. They're using insider information for property deals. Tell me everything, Nathan commanded, activating the recording equipment Robert had installed. Amanda's confession spilled out. Years of illegal property deals, manipulation of zoning laws, bribes to city officials. All orchestrated by the Hayes sisters, with Victoria using her position as Nathan's wife to gather privileged information. She never loved you, Amanda admitted, tears in her eyes. It was all about access to Red Point's connections. Even the twins were part of her plan. Grace joined the meeting via video call, her expression grim. Nathan, Victoria just tried to access the merger documents. She's getting bolder. Let her, Nathan replied. Each attempt builds our case. The day progressed with the intensity of a gathering storm. Donna's surveillance caught Jackson meeting with potential buyers for Red Point security protocols. Robert's FBI contacts confirmed their interest in the corporate espionage angle. Uncle Michael called with more financial evidence. She's liquidating assets faster now, planning to move everything offshore once you're gone. Nathan's phone lit up with a text from Victoria. Feeling weak today, honey? Maybe you should rest. I'll handle the Red Point meetings. His response maintained his cover. Thanks for your concern. Taking it easy today. In truth, Nathan had never been stronger. Dr. Bennett's new treatment protocol was showing remarkable results, giving him the strength he needed for the battles ahead. Maria entered with updates about the twins. They're asking questions, Mr. Morrison. They noticed their mother's absences. Keep detailed records, Nathan instructed. Document everything. Thomas reviewed their growing evidence pile. We've got enough for criminal charges now. Corporate espionage, wire fraud, conspiracy. Not yet. Nathan cut him off. Let them think they're winning. The fall will be harder. Grace's voice came through the speaker. Victoria's meeting with the board tomorrow, claiming concern about your health affecting company stability. Perfect. Nathan's smile held no warmth. Let her make her move. We'll be ready. The pieces were in place. Victoria and her conspirators had no idea they were operating in a carefully constructed trap. Each move they made tightened the noose around their necks. Nathan's phone buzzed again. Dr. Bennett with his latest test results. The cancer was responding to treatment, giving him time to execute his plans. Victoria expected a dying man's desperate moves. She would learn the cost of underestimating Nathan Morrison. Chapter 7. The Strike. The gym's security cameras activated at 6 a.m. sharp, recording Victoria's arrival for her morning session with Jackson. Nathan watched the feed from his office, surrounded by his assembled team. The moment had arrived. Surveillance in position. Donna Kincaid confirmed through the comlink. Target is entering the building. Robert Wilson adjusted his police badge, nodding to the waiting process server. FBI teams ready. They'll move on the financial crimes evidence as soon as the papers are served. Nathan's phone buzzed. Dr. Rachel Bennett calling. Mr. Morrison, your latest scans show significant tumor reduction. The new treatment protocol is working better than expected. Perfect timing, doctor. Send the results to Thomas Martinez. Thomas, already reviewing the final legal documents, looked up. Victoria's claiming your illness makes you mentally unfit. These medical records destroy that argument. Grace Martinez's voice came through the speaker system. Red Point security team just caught another attempt to access the protocols. IP traces directly to Hayes Properties. Upload the evidence to the FBI server, Nathan commanded. Add it to Catherine's file. The gym's camera showed Victoria in her designer workout gear, laughing at something Jackson said. Neither noticed the black SUVs pulling into the parking lot. Now, Nathan ordered. The process server entered first, accompanied by 2 FBI agents. Victoria's laugh cut off as legal documents were thrust into her manicured hands. Victoria Hayes Morrison, you've been served with divorce papers and a federal warrant for corporate espionage. Jackson backed away, but more agents blocked his escape route. Jackson Reed, you're under arrest for wire fraud and conspiracy to commit murder. Nathan watched Victoria's face transform from confusion to rage as she scanned the documents. Her fingers trembled as she reached page 3, the detailed evidence of her affair, the twins' paternity, and her financial crimes. This is ridiculous. Victoria's voice shook. I want my lawyer. Your lawyer's been served too, Thomas Martinez announced, entering the gym. Catherine Hayes is currently being arrested at her office. The real estate fraud evidence is quite compelling. David Reynolds appeared next, flanked by Red Point's security team. We've documented attempts to steal proprietary software worth millions. The board has voted to pursue criminal charges. Victoria's composure cracked. Nathan can't do this. He's sick. He's not thinking clearly. Actually, Mrs. Morrison, Dr. Bennett stepped forward, medical records in hand. Your husband's cognitive functions are excellent. His response to treatment has been remarkable. Jackson tried to bolt, but was quickly subdued. The FBI agents read him his rights while pulling up records on their tablets. Mr. Reed, we've found your previous victims, an agent announced. 3 wealthy women whose husbands died under suspicious circumstances. Your first wife provided quite detailed testimony. Nathan's voice cut through the chaos, coming through the gym's speaker system. Victoria, did you really think I wouldn't find out? About the twins? The offshore accounts? Your plans for my death? Victoria's face drained of color. How? Your deleted emails were quite informative. Catherine's real estate schemes, your life insurance policy on me, your discussions about Red Point's vulnerabilities. I saw everything. More agents arrived, carrying boxes of evidence. Bank statements, surveillance photos, recorded conversations. 5 years of deception laid bare. The gym's board has voted, David announced. Your ownership stake is forfeit due to criminal activity. Jackson was led away in handcuffs, already trying to make a deal. I'll tell you everything. Victoria planned it all. Victoria's lawyer arrived, but froze upon seeing Thomas Martinez. The Hayes family attorney looked like he'd seen a ghost. Save your breath, Thomas advised his colleague. The evidence is ironclad. Corporate espionage, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit murder. The federal penalties alone. Victoria found her voice. The twins. You can't take my children. They're not mine. Nathan's voice remained cold. But don't worry. The trust fund I've established will ensure they're well cared for. Unlike you, I don't punish children for their parents' crimes. Grace entered with more documents. Mrs. Morrison, Red Point's board requests the return of all company devices and access cards. We've documented each unauthorized access attempt. Victoria's carefully constructed world crumbled around her. The gym members watched in shock as she was escorted out, her designer gym bag replaced by an evidence bag. Nathan finally appeared in person, his presence commanding respect despite months of chemotherapy. Victoria, you should have remembered, I built myself up from nothing once before. Did you really think cancer would make me weak? Dr. Bennett stepped forward with updated medical charts. Mr. Morrison's latest results show remarkable improvement. The new treatment protocol is exceeding expectations. Victoria's last attempt at dignity shattered. Nathan, please. We can talk about this. Like you talked about me with Jackson? Plan my death while using my money to fund your affair. Nathan's voice could have frozen fire. The time for talking ended 5 years ago, when you decided to make our marriage a lie. The FBI led Victoria away as reporters gathered outside. Nathan turned to his team. Robert, Grace, Thomas, Donna, Dr. Bennett, David, and Uncle Michael on video call. Phase 1 complete, Nathan announced. Now we destroy everything they built. The strike had been delivered. The war was far from over. Chapter 8, The Unraveling. Victoria's arrest made headlines across Philadelphia's business community. Nathan sat in Red Point's boardroom, watching multiple news feeds while his team executed the next phase of their plan. Hayes property stock is in free fall, Grace reported, monitoring financial terminals. Catherine's arrest triggered a mass investor exodus. Thomas Martinez spread out new legal documents. Victoria's preliminary hearing is scheduled for next week. The evidence of corporate espionage is overwhelming. Her lawyers attempting a mental health defense, Robert added, reviewing police reports, claiming stress and anxiety led to poor decisions. Nathan's laugh held no humor. Poor decisions like planning your husband's death? How's Jackson holding up in custody? Singing like a canary, Donna confirmed, playing surveillance audio. He's offered testimony about Victoria's murder plans in exchange for a deal. His previous victims are coming forward. The gym's board president called next. Mr. Morrison, we voted to buy out Victoria's ownership stake at minimal value, citing criminal activity clauses. Accept the motion, Nathan instructed. Forward all documentation to Thomas. Grace's tablet chimed with alerts. Victoria's attempting to access offshore accounts. The freeze order is holding. Of course it is. Uncle Michael's voice came through the speakers. Those accounts are locked tighter than a bank vault. She won't see a penny. Jackson's estranged wife, Jennifer, arrived for her scheduled meeting. Her testimony about his previous schemes had proven invaluable. He did this to 3 other women, Jennifer explained, sharing photos. Seduced them at gyms, gained access to their finances, then vanished when their husbands died mysteriously. Thomas added her statement to the growing evidence pile. The pattern is clear. Victoria wasn't just a willing participant. She was his most ambitious co-conspirator. David Reynolds entered with Red Point's security team. We've traced all unauthorized access attempts. Victoria and Catherine's digital fingerprints are everywhere. The investigation into Hayes' properties revealed deeper corruption. Catherine's real estate empire was built on insider trading and zoning fraud. The state licensing board is suspending both sisters, Thomas announced. Their real estate careers are finished. Victoria's social circle crumbled as friends distanced themselves. Amanda Taylor's recorded conversations proved particularly damaging. She bragged about it. Amanda testified to federal investigators. How she married Nathan for his company, how the twins were Jacksons, how she planned to profit from his death. Nathan received updates throughout the day. The gym canceled all of Jackson's client contracts. Victoria's attempt to access the twins' trust fund failed. Catherine's overseas properties were frozen, pending investigation. 3 more of Jackson's former clients came forward with similar stories. Grace coordinated with Red Point's PR team. The press release emphasizes corporate security and zero tolerance for industrial espionage. What about the twins? Maria Rodriguez asked, concern evident in her voice. The trust fund is secure, Nathan assured her. They'll have everything they need for education and future care. Victoria's lawyer attempted negotiation. Nathan's response was brief. She plotted my death. There will be no deals. The evidence mounted hourly. Security footage of Victoria meeting competitors. Recorded conversations about Nathan's expected death. Bank transfers to offshore accounts. Emails detailing the conspiracy. Witness statements from gym staff. Medical records proving Nathan's competency. Jackson broke under interrogation, revealing details about previous victims. His pattern became clear. Seduce wealthy women, plan their husbands' deaths, vanish with the money. He's facing multiple homicide investigations, Robert reported. Victoria's involvement makes her an accessory. Grace monitored Victoria's deteriorating position. She's been fired from her real estate firm. Her professional licenses are suspended. The gym's members, disgusted by the scandal, demanded refunds for Jackson's training sessions. His professional certifications came under review. His entire career was built on fraud, Donna revealed. Most of his credentials are fake. Catherine's arrest exposed the Hayes sisters' real estate schemes. Their network of insider trading and zoning fraud unraveled rapidly. The investigation has spread to city officials, Thomas explained. Bribes, kickbacks, illegal property deals, it's all coming out. Nathan watched the destruction of Victoria's carefully constructed world with cold satisfaction. She had tried to destroy him, using his trust as a weapon. Instead, she would learn why crossing Nathan Morrison was a fatal mistake. Chapter 9. Victory and Renewal. The divorce court fell silent as Nathan Morrison presented the final evidence. Victoria sat with her court-appointed attorney, her designer outfits replaced by department store clothes. The defendant conspired to commit murder. Thomas Martinez addressed the judge. The evidence shows years of premeditation. Nathan's medical team testified about his improving condition. Dr. Bennett presented scan results showing tumor reduction. Mr. Morrison's cognitive functions remained sharp throughout treatment, she confirmed. His business decisions were sound and rational. The judge reviewed the evidence. Surveillance footage, financial records, email correspondence, witness testimonies, medical documentation, corporate security logs. Victoria's attempts to claim mental instability failed. Nathan's documented competency destroyed her defense. The court finds overwhelming evidence of criminal conspiracy, the judge announced. The divorce is granted. All assets will be divided as per the prosecution's proposal. Nathan's team had prepared thoroughly. The house was sold, proceeds frozen. Victoria's gym ownership stake forfeit. Offshore accounts seized. Trust funds secured for the twins. Corporate assets protected. Real estate licenses revoked. Jackson faced his own legal tsunami. Multiple jurisdictions wanted him for questioning about suspicious deaths. He's not coming back, Robert confirmed. Federal marshals are tracking him to Mexico. Victoria's social standing evaporated. Former friends crossed the street to avoid her. Country club memberships were revoked. Your sister made bail, her lawyer informed her. But Catherine's assets are frozen. You'll have to move in with your parents. The twins adapted better than expected. Maria's consistent care provided stability despite their mother's absence. They're resilient, the child psychologist reported. The trust fund ensures their future security. Nathan maintained appropriate distance, knowing they'd learn the truth when older. His role shifted from father to benefactor, ensuring their needs were met without emotional complications. Grace's support remained steady throughout. Their professional relationship evolved naturally, both understanding the need for patience. The company's stronger than ever, she reported during a late strategy session. Victoria's attempts to steal data actually improved our security. David Reynolds proudly watched his protégé's triumph. You've turned betrayal into victory, Nathan. The board is impressed. The final pieces fell. Victoria's parents' shame. Catherine's career destruction. Jackson's flight to Mexico. Amanda's testimony published. Hayes Properties collapse. Gym franchise reorganization. 5 years passed. Nathan sat in his new home's garden, watching his daughter with Grace play. The cancer was in remission. Dr. Bennett's treatment protocol a complete success. Robert and Donna's wedding invitation arrived. Their romance sparked during the investigation. Maria's daycare center flourished with Nathan's investment. Uncle Michael visited regularly. The family rift healed by shared triumph over betrayal. The Morrison family farm became a weekend retreat. The twins, now 10, received regular trust fund updates. Their future education and opportunities were secure, protected from their mother's disgrace. Victoria's attempt to rebuild failed completely. Job applications rejected. Social connections severed. Assets depleted by legal fees. Professional licenses revoked. Reputation permanently ruined. Forced dependence on aging parents. Nathan's new life proved sweeter than revenge. Cancer in remission. Business thriving. Relationship with Grace deepening. True friends proven. Family bonds strengthened. Peace achieved. The final victory wasn't just survival. It was transformation. Nathan Morrison had turned betrayal into triumph. Weakness into strength. Endings into beginnings. The man who had rebuilt himself from tragedy twice now stood stronger than ever. His enemies destroyed, his future secure, his legacy protected. The perfect life hadn't been perfect at all, but its destruction had led to something better, a life built on truth, strength, and the wisdom that comes from surviving betrayal. Epilogue, 10 years later. Redpoint Technologies' new headquarters dominated the Philadelphia skyline, its glass and steel structure reflecting Nathan Morrison's evolution from survivor to titan. At 52, Nathan sat in his CEO office, reviewing the company's latest expansion plans. The past decade had transformed both the man and his empire. "Dad, did you see my acceptance letter?" Lily Morrison burst into the office, her 13-year-old enthusiasm brightening the room. Grace followed their daughter, carrying a stack of reports. Princeton's summer science program? Nathan's pride showed in his rare, genuine smile. "Of course I saw it. Your mother made sure to forward it to board." Grace set down the reports, her role as Redpoint so evident in her confident bearing. The board's quite impressed. They're already talking about grooming the next generation of leadership. Marriage to Grace had come naturally, for years after Victoria's downfall. Their partnership, built on mutual respect and shared strength, had given Nathan something his first marriage never could: genuine trust. "Mr. Morrison," His assistant interrupted through the intercom. Amy and Adam are here for their monthly meeting. The twins, now 15, entered the office. Though not biologically his, Nathan had maintained his commitment to their future. The trust fund ensured their education and opportunities, while careful boundaries protected everyone's emotional well-being. Our academic reports, as requested, Amy handed over their latest achievements. Both excelled at their private school, their athletic builds and determined attitudes reminiscent of their biological father, though they'd grown into better people than Jackson Reed could ever be. Harvard's already showing interest in my tennis performance, Adam added. And Amy's science fair project won national recognition. Nathan reviewed their progress with appropriate professional interest. The trust fund will cover any university you choose. Your accomplishments have earned that right. The twins had learned the truth about their parentage at 12 after careful consultation with child psychologists. Nathan's steady support throughout their lives had earned their respect, while Victoria's actions had taught them harsh lessons about character and consequences. Any word from your mother? Nathan asked, maintaining his role as concerned trustee. She sent birthday cards, Amy replied, her tone neutral. From Arizona, this time. Still trying to rebuild her real estate career under a new name? Victoria's attempt to reinvent herself had failed repeatedly over the past decade. Each new city, each new identity eventually crumbled when background checks revealed her past. Her parents' deaths had left her without even that safety net, forcing her to bounce between low-end jobs and cheap apartments. Robert Wilson's voice came through on the speakerphone. Nathan, you'll want to hear this. Jackson Reed's body was just identified in Mexico City. Apparently, he tried his usual scam on a cartel leader's wife. Didn't end well for him. Keep me posted, Nathan replied, unsurprised by his former rival's fate. How's the private investigation firm doing? Kincaid Wilson Security is expanding to 3 more cities, Robert answered, his marriage to Donna having created a formidable security consulting empire. Thanks for that government contract referral. The intercom buzzed again. Sir, David Reynolds is here with the retirement paperwork. David entered, now in his 70s but still sharp as ever. His transition from mentor to friend had enriched both men's lives. Finally making it official. The board insisted on naming the new research wing after me. The David Reynolds Innovation Center, Nathan confirmed. Your legacy secured. Grace pulled up the latest company statistics on the wall screen. Under their joint leadership, Redpoint had grown from a mid-sized tech company to a global security solutions provider. The attempted corporate espionage that Victoria and Catherine had planned had instead sparked a complete security overhaul, leading to groundbreaking advancements in data protection. Speaking of legacy, Grace noted, Maria Rodriguez's childcare centers are ready for franchising. Nathan nodded with satisfaction. The former nanny had built her single daycare center into a successful chain, thanks to his initial investment and ongoing business guidance. Her centers now served as a model for corporate-sponsored childcare facilities. Uncle Michael sent the farm's quarterly report, Grace continued, pulling up more documents. The agricultural technology program is exceeding expectations. The Morrison family farm, once a source of bitter division, had become a testing ground for Redpoint's agricultural innovations. Uncle Michael's financial expertise had helped transform it into a profitable research facility while preserving its heritage. Catherine made another appeal, Robert added. Wants to reduce her restitution payments. Nathan's expression hardened. Catherine Hayes remained in financial ruin, her attempts to rebuild thwarted by the massive restitution payments required by her conviction. Her partnership with Victoria in the original conspiracy had cost her everything: career, reputation, and freedom. No reduction, Nathan decided. She made her choice 10 years ago. The afternoon brought more visitors. Amanda Taylor, whose testimony had helped bring down Victoria's conspiracy, had found her own path to success. Her ethical business consulting firm now helped companies identify and prevent corporate espionage. Your case study is still our most requested training module, Amanda informed them. Companies want to know how to spot the warning signs you caught. The cancer that had once threatened Nathan's life remained in remission, Dr. Rachel Bennett's innovative treatment protocol having proven successful. She now headed Redpoint's medical technology division, developing new cancer therapies. Your latest scan was clear, Dr. Bennett confirmed during her quarterly update. The treatment combination we pioneered has been approved for widespread use. You're not just a survivor, Mr. Morrison. You're helping save others. Thomas Martinez joined them later, his law firm having grown into a powerhouse, specializing in corporate security and high-stakes divorce cases. Victoria's latest appeal was denied, he reported. Her actions during the conspiracy voided any claim to marital assets. And the twins' trust? Nathan inquired. Absolutely secure. My firm's latest protections ensure she can't touch it, even after they turn 18. Your promise to protect their future remains intact. Evening found Nathan and Grace reviewing family dinner plans. Lily was excited about her upcoming science program, while the twins would join them to celebrate their academic achievements. The modern family they'd built might not match traditional definitions, but it worked. Did you ever imagine this 10 years ago? Grace asked, watching the city lights sparkle below. When you first discovered Victoria's betrayals? Nathan considered the question. The betrayal that could have destroyed him had instead revealed his true strength. Victoria's attempt to exploit his supposed weakness had transformed him into something far more powerful than before. I knew I would survive, he answered. I'd done it before after my parents' death. But this. He gestured to encompass their life, the company, their marriage, their daughter, the twins' success, the loyal friends who'd become family. This is better than mere survival. Later that night, alone in his home office, Nathan reviewed an intelligence report. Victoria had been spotted in Phoenix, working as a low-level real estate agent under another assumed name. Her latest attempt at reinvention would fail like all the others. Background checks and professional networks ensured that. The twins' latest achievements brought a different kind of satisfaction. Despite their biological parents' crimes, Amy and Adam were growing into remarkable young adults. His decision to protect their future while maintaining appropriate distance had paid off. Redpoint's success proved equally satisfying. The company that Victoria and her conspirators had tried to steal had instead become a global leader in security technology. The very threats they'd posed had sparked innovations that now protected corporations worldwide. Grace's leadership had been instrumental in that growth. Their partnership, personal and professional, demonstrated what real trust and mutual respect could build. Lily, their daughter, embodied the best of both parents, brilliant, determined, and unflinchingly honest. The support network that had helped destroy Victoria's conspiracy remained strong. Robert and Donna's security firm protected corporations from similar threats. Maria's childcare centers provided safe, nurturing environments for working parents. Uncle Michael's financial guidance helped others protect their assets. David's mentorship programs developed ethical business leaders. Dr. Bennett's medical innovations saved lives. Thomas's legal expertise defended against corporate predators. Amanda's consulting prevented similar conspiracies. Each member of Nathan's team had transformed their role in his revenge into a force for positive change. Their loyalty, proven in crisis, had built something lasting and meaningful. The Morrison name, which Victoria had tried to exploit, now stood for integrity and innovation. Nathan's reputation for ruthless response to betrayal was balanced by his commitment to protecting the innocent and rewarding loyalty. His home office held reminders of the journey. The twins' academic awards, Lily's science competition medals, Grace's business innovation prizes, Redpoint's security patents, the family farm's transformation, charitable foundation successes, professional achievement records. Each item represented a victory not just over Victoria's conspiracy, but over the very concept of betrayal itself. Nathan Morrison had turned revenge into renaissance, destruction into creation. The cancer's remission symbolized more than physical healing. The disease that Victoria had counted on to weaken him had instead revealed his true strength. Dr. Bennett's treatment innovations now helped others find similar strength. The next generation showed particular promise. Lily's brilliant scientific mind, Amy's analytical abilities, Adam's determined focus, their shared ethical foundation, strong educational achievements, healthy emotional development, clear understanding of consequences. Nathan's protection of the twins, despite their parentage, demonstrated the difference between revenge and justice. Victoria and Jackson's betrayal had cost them their children's love, while Nathan's steadfast support had earned their respect. Grace entered the office, carrying evening reports. Their decade together had proven that true partnership required equal strength. Her presence completed the transformation of Nathan's life from a false perfect image to genuine fulfillment. "Board meeting tomorrow," she reminded him. "The new security protocols are ready for review." Nathan nodded, appreciating the irony. Victoria's attempt to steal Red Point's security measures had led to revolutionary advancements in corporate protection. Her betrayal had ultimately strengthened everything she'd tried to destroy. The final lesson emerged clearly. True strength came not from avoiding betrayal, but from transforming it into triumph. Nathan Morrison had turned life's harshest lessons into his greatest victories, building a legacy that would endure long after revenge had lost its savor. The perfect life he'd thought he had with Victoria had been an illusion. The real perfection lay in surviving betrayal, protecting the innocent, and building something genuine from the ashes of deception. 10 years after Victoria's conspiracy failed, Nathan Morrison's true victory was not in her destruction, but in the creation of something she could never have imagined, a life built on authentic strength, genuine trust, and the enduring power of transforming betrayal into triumph. And there you have it. Another story comes to an end. What did you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this story, consider joining our community by subscribing. It means the world to us. For more stories like this one, check out the recommended videos on screen. And I'll see you there.